Three, two, one.
You ready?
You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Hope you're all having a great night, weekend, day, whenever you're checking this out. I've got a review for a little short film called Ice Merchants, which is directed by Yao Gonzalez, who is up for the Oscar for Best Short Film, which, let's fucking go. I'm so excited that he's up for this short film. And I will say, I went ahead and I watched this. I got a screener for it, but you can go ahead and stream this on YouTube. It's on the New Yorker's official website or YouTube page, pardon me. And just right out the gate, I have true admiration for the short film because Mr. Gonzalez, he directed this, he wrote it, he helped on the score, he was an animator on this, he pretty much did fucking everything on this, and I got a chance to interview him. That interview will be up in tandem by the time you hear this, and so just off that, I admire the fact that he was able to make all this work, and the fact that he did everything, that he wore every hat essentially to go ahead and make Ice Merchants work. The biggest compliment I can give this film, probably just out the gate, is it's breathtaking. The use of animation, it really, I was talking to my partner about this. I love the old school Disney animation, just the hand-drawn, like, yes, obviously I love, Toy Story and, the Pixar stuff where it's, 3D animation, but there's something so pure about, that earlier style of animation where you had animators just hand-drawing everything. There's something about a hand-drawn aesthetic that I just still get really excited for. It's very much in the same way that when I hear one of my favorite bands do an acoustic cover of one of their songs, I just go, that's nice. That's nice. That just kind of calms me. And I think in the same way that acoustic guitar kind of calms me, this animation style calms me. And in the way that it works in tandem with the score, it's absolutely beautiful. So as far as what the plot is of this, we have two people, a son and a father. And one thing that I really like about this, that the animation enhances, is that it makes you realize that when you're a kid, your parents feel like giants to you, whether that's just in the way that we perceive them or if they're actually, giant. And the way that the dad is shown here, he feels like he's 7 feet tall. And so the way that the son just kind of looks up at him, you go, oh, he's literally and figuratively looking up to his dad. There's this point at around the 2-minute mark where you see the dad with his son. I'm blanking on the term, not like a pouch, but he's got his son strapped to his chest. And I like the subtlety of having the dad wearing red, the son wearing orange, and right at the 2-minute, like right just after the 2-minute mark, like at the 2-minute, 2-second mark, I believe, is where we see the dad go ahead and dive with his son, and it stops for a second, and then we get the Ice Merchants title screen. That was badass. I absolutely love that shot. And we actually see their hats go ahead and fall off of their heads, but it leads to this amazing zoom in to go ahead and see the dad falling from the feet up. The way the animation goes ahead and uses multiple different camera angles, that's one of the things that kept me engaged and just kept me, breathless as I was watching this. As far as the score, which I mentioned, It reminds me a lot of, like, reminds me a lot of 9 Days score. And I know I bring up 9 Days score a decent amount, but that score in particular, I have no idea if it was influenced by that, but it's very much in that same sort of realm. And so if there is ever a vinyl of this put out, I already have this score saved on my Spotify, but it's a score I've already listened to a couple times, start to finish, and just went, this is cool. I really like this. But what's really fascinating about this is how there's not one word spoken in this film at any point, and yet you feel the warmth between the son and the dad. Right around the 4 minute mark, we actually see the dad making like a stew for him and his son, and again the perspective of him towering over the stove. But just seeing how even the son just grabs 2 cups for him and his dad, but you notice that there are 3 cups there. And so the son has obviously lost their other parent, and the dad has lost their partner. And it really is the subtlety, again, no word spoken at any point in this. It's the subtlety of this film to go ahead and relay information to its audience. And you've heard me, if you've listened to the podcast for a decent amount of time, you've heard me rant about how it bugs the absolute hell out of me when films won't trust their audience to connect the dots. Sometimes do you need to have the subtlety of a sledgehammer? Absolutely. But this film does a really good job of relaying information to you without spoon feeding it to you. It truly is a visual film, and I give this whole team so much credit for being able to relay so much information for us to care about our characters and yet not say a word. Like, that's a pardon me, that's a hell of a line walk, and this film does an incredible job of doing it. As I mentioned earlier, that initial jump, you see their hats go ahead and fall off their heads, like they lose them. But there's this point later on in the short film where the son is looking out across the sky and the night, and the dad just reaches into his pocket, grabs a brand new hat, and you can tell because the tags are still on there. And the son just kind of looks at him and gives him a hug. And again, I don't want to spoil everything in here because I do think visually there's so much to go ahead and appreciate. And again, I think the storytelling does a great job of going ahead and relaying so much information. But it's really quite phenomenal that this film is about just under 15 minutes. It's about 14 and a half minutes, if memory serves. And yet you get a sense of this community that they're helping. You get a sense of what this job means to the dad. You get a sense of what the warmth that they have for each other. Not just when they're hugging, but literally and figuratively. This is incredibly well done, especially when it's at night and you get these really cool shots of, the fire in the background crackling and setting off light as they're sitting at the table. And when they're actually, diving, when they're actually diving. And it's a visual feast, honestly. And admittedly, from a selfish perspective, would have I liked for this to have been maybe multiple shorts? Yeah. But honestly, if they can make something like this, I don't know what the budget was on this, but if they can make something like this, I would love to see this animation style return, or even maybe these characters return. It's incredibly well handled, it's incredibly well done, and I am pulling for this film to win the Oscar because this was truly a joyous thing for me. Just from the animation, from the story, from the score, everything works in tandem so well to create an amazing experience. And at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for. I would give this a solid A. I really enjoyed this. As I mentioned, this is streamed for free on YouTube. So on the New Yorker's YouTube channel. But if you just type in Ice Merchants, it'll pop up. But really enjoyed this. Had a blast with it. Please watch this. Please support this film because it deserves your time and it deserves your praise. So yeah, solid A from me. But everyone, what did you think of Ice Merchants? Let us know in the comments. You can follow yours truly on the Twitter at jhunterrealpineapple. Go ahead and follow our link tree. That's gonna have all the places you can find us on socials. There's a lot of places to find us. You can find us on linktr.ee /jhunterrealpineapple. Oh gosh, where else? You can find me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. You can find me on TikTok at Black Shazam 775. You can follow me on Instagram at jhunterrealpineapple. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Find us on SoundCloud, Apple, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few, at The Real Pineapple. And don't forget to like both our pages on Facebook at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/jhunterrealpineapple. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. We're going to got quite a few reviews coming up. So I've got a review with Mr. Gonzalez, which will be releasing by the time you listen to this. It'll be releasing in tandem. I have a review with Michael Marin coming up for the latest Michael Shannon film, A Little White Lie, which also has Don Johnson and oh my gosh, not Kate Winslet. Oh my gosh. Why can't I think of Kate Hudson? Good Lord, that took way too long. But I'm going to have reviews up with him and a review for that film as well. I've got a review coming up with first-time director S.J. Finley for his first feature film debut, Boy From Nowhere. I've got a review coming up for The Integrity of Joseph Chambers, along with a review with oh my gosh, I'm forgetting names tonight, with Clayne Crawford, who was the star and a producer on that. And for Women's History Month, I've got a review of CC Dances the Go-Go, which you can also stream on YouTube. And I'm going to have a review with the director of that short film, Aaron C. Buckley, as well. That'll all be coming out here in the next week and a half or so. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other. And again, thank you for all your support, and we'll talk to you soon.